You know, when those came to Jesus and spoke up to declare their devotion and thought they were ready to surrender and follow him, Jesus often pointed out that they were not really ready. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Wednesday. It seems that in each instance where would-be followers came and pledged their support, felt they were ready to be one of his disciples, Jesus reminded them of his strict surrender policy and the need of complete devotion. In Luke chapter 9 and verse 61, a man came to Jesus and volunteered to be his disciples. And another also said, "Lord, I will follow you, but let me first go and bid farewell to those who are in my house." But Jesus said to him, "No one, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of heaven." You know, there's nothing wrong in having a send-off for our missionaries or a dedication service for someone who's entering the service, maybe even moving far away in order to minister. But we don't know this man's motivation for going back to his home. Even in reference to the man who said, "First let me bury my father," we don't even know that his father had died. It could have been that he was wanting to wait around and stay at home until his father had passed, and then he would serve the Lord. That may have been years. And we don't know who was at this man's house or how long this farewell would take. But ultimately, his statement may have had more holes in it than we're aware of. We know that Peter made a great declaration of his faithfulness and even his devotion to the Lord on the night when they went to Gethsemane. And Peter told the Lord, "Don't worry, Lord, I am ready to go with you both to prison and to death." And it wasn't very many hours after that before Peter would deny the Lord 3 times and even deny any association with him, among others, where he warmed his hands around the fire. It seems that the main thought of this passage came to us in verse 62, where Jesus said, "No man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of heaven." You know, a lot of people make commitments nowadays that they don't really keep. They will join a gym, but they never really show up in order to exercise there. Maybe they'll purchase a car, but they don't complete all the payments, and the bank has to repossess it and take it back. Or maybe they even make a lifetime vow of marriage, but the vow, for some reason, doesn't last a lifetime. It seems like that's our society today, or perhaps our generation. And Jesus was referring to those who claimed complete devotion to follow, to serve him, because for many, they turned back and they didn't keep their promise. You know, starting out with a plow and looking back is very dangerous. It will be disastrous, and when you look at the field later, the lines will not be straight, the rows will be messed up. If you are actually cultivating in a field where there are plants, they'll all be torn up. Looking back is a dangerous thing. How many have started with a desire to follow Jesus and declared their devotion only to get distracted, turn away from Jesus due to perhaps the cares of this life? No man, starting out and looking back, he said, is fit for the kingdom of heaven. You know, when we see the dedication of Old Testament characters like Abraham, who left his home and family and went to this strange land that God led him to, or men like Daniel, who served for some 70 years in a strange land to a foreign government and was so faithful they could find no fault in him except his prayer life, I'm reminded that that's the kind of dedication that God is looking for. We can see why Jesus warned these people, if you make a commitment to God, you really need to keep it.